happy time zones, and welcome to another Saturday of work ish,
Ish.
possibly. I'm in a mood.
Stuff shall happen.
Content warning. I recorded 2 videos this morning without turning my mic on.
No.
So expect that quality of entertainment from this stream.
I've spent half the day crying, so yay!
I'm sorry.
But the conversation since the group has gotten together has been fun.
If I had the energy, I would really like to just use the video, put an old-timey filter off of it, and then do silent film cards. And just use it
That would be hilarious.
You just gotta have the back reel effects and the jitters happen and everything. Yeah.
Have some old-timey piano playing in the background.
Yes, exactly. Play the entertainer, it's gotta be Chopin or else I don't want it.
I just felt like that was too much energy, so I recorded them again. But I really wanted to do that.
That's probably the better energy right there.
I was so mad because I was so proud of the one, and then I did the thing I should have done after the first one. I hit play to do an audio test, and I saw my mouth moving and no sound. I went, "Oh, I'm that person today." Okay.
I feel like we have all been there.
I don't know if I've been there specifically, but I've been in similar places.
We've at least been there on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were having a discussion before the thing about casting, and about one of the parts was about how there are no teenagers in teenage shows. People are like, why do you, and people say to me, why do you watch these teenage shows? Are you into teens and stuff? And I'm just like, hold up. Let me pull up the cast list. Let me pull up their ages. Every single one of these fuckers is 20 at least.
Yes.
I can lust over every single person on this show.
Unless it's Disney Channel, they are adults.
I have a running pet theory that Asa Butterfield's secretly 120 years old, because he looked into the camera and those eyes, he's seen something. He escaped the time war. I don't know. Something bad happened, and we're only now just learning about it.
The guy who played Hannah Montana's brother was, I think, in his mid-30s.
Well, he was playing a character who was in his 20s, right?
No.
No?
He was in high school still.
Oh, was he? Okay, I never actually watched the show. I had just assumed. Oh, am I thinking iCarly?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. That's Jeremy Trainer, who was also really hot.
But he was somehow her guardian or something, right? I never watched any of these shows. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Something was going on with their parents. He was her older brother. Something was going on with their parents. I don't know what it was. I don't know the reason, but he was her guardian. Hello, Sako.
Hello.
and Jennifer, unfortunately, it's for my second channel, which only has a few subscribers, and it would really confuse the people that are there if I did that.
So yes, we have Chandra here. Hello, Chandra. Hello. And hello, Diana. Hello. And hello, Jennifer. And hello, Eva. Have any of you traveled long distance by American Rail Amtrak? Yes.
Yes.
It's a lot. It's really cool, but unless you have a sleeper car, there is no lying down position, so you have to be able to sleep sitting up.
That's true. I take the Excella from DC to New York. It's really nice.
I was just about to say if that East Coast commuter rail doesn't count, then no.
I have, but not since college. A millennium ago.
Mm.
The Chicago to, well, we stopped at Vegas because my mom and her friends were like Vegas fiends. So we went to Vegas by train like 5 times as I was growing up. And the train to Vegas through the Rockies is amazing. Like, you don't need other entertainment. You can just sit
I can
and
imagine.
watch the scenery go by all day.
Oh yeah, I think that's the other problem is on the East Coast, it's kind of ugly. Like we don't have railways that go through all that pretty of areas. We have pretty areas. It's just not where the trains are.
That's just not where the trains are. Yeah. We get to see other trains.
Right.
So we're going to take
And,
this
like,
trip to the train
shipyards.
graveyard.
Yeah, pretty
Scenic
much.
Wilmington, Delaware.
Oh, words that have never been put together before or after.
Right.
Hello, Jenny.
I am from Delaware, and I believe that is the first time I have ever said that.
That's sort of like me saying scenic Ypsilanti, so yeah.
Just like Wilmington is absolutely the ugliest part of Delaware, like hands down. Wilmington and like the chicken coops.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime anybody's come to visit us, there's like one corner of town that I wish I could blindfold people on the way there and back. Because from there, like if you stand at this one particular part of town, our town's really pretty. Because there's the really, really pretty courthouse with the brick streets and the river going through and the really nice park. Everything else is trash and a garbage fire. But it's one place, if you stand at this one particular intersection, it's a beautiful town.
Yeah.
I
For
think every
Delaware,
town.
it's more like I need to have a little jar of the like smelling salts in the car. Like so you can't smell because the chickens are just like the worst fucking smell possible.
Yes.
And like it's not just the chickens, like chicken is one of the biggest industries in Delaware, and it's not just the chickens themselves, but it's also like it's not just the chicken coops, but it's also the processing plants and like the dog food factory. All reek of awful chicken.
So tell me this: do the locals nickname it Smellaware?
No, absolutely not.
Just
Hello,
like
Laura.
just the sixth graders.
We do call it LSD though, because Delaware is divided into Wilmington, and everything south of Wilmington, and everything south of Wilmington is lower, slower Delaware. Yeah. That is an actual thing.
But I think every town has to have that one angle that they set up specifically so that they can take pictures for the brochure.
Oh yeah, like they actually like landscape, like there's really pretty trees and flower beds, and it's like the only place in town that they do that with. And it's gorgeous. It's really, really pretty. And then like you get people there and they're like, this is gorgeous. I'm like, yeah, this is where they used to hang people until dead and cut up their bodies. What? Yeah. That's why
Yeah.
the ground is so fertile. It's human blood. Welcome to my hometown.
Fertilized by human blood.
Delaware has resort beaches and scenic lighthouses, so we don't really have to worry about the rest of it because like you don't give a shit about the rest of it. You're just going to the beach and those fucking lighthouses.
So how appropriate is it you're talking about dead bodies fertilizing the soil right when Laura comes in?
It is exactly.
It's like
Inspiration.
Laura summoning magic.
Yes, that is how things work. I mean, the mistress of darkness and the queen of all horror, like you just say dark things and boom, boom. Hi, Laura. How are
Hi,
you?
Laura. By the way, Laura just had her hair did.
I
Oh,
saw
gorgeous.
it.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. I can't. Oh,
She just had hers did.
she just had hers did.
And I mean, earned it. What did you say, Laura? It was 7 hours to get that done.
I believe it. I believe
Like you
that.
earned it. You earned it. And it's beautiful.
I would put a picture up if it weren't for the fact that it's on my Facebook feed and it's someone else's pictures.
Yeah,
So,
it looks great.
what are people working on in this early Preptober?
I am using. I'm gonna try to use EA Devilrel's one-page novel system to come up with my next book, which is going to be a mystery, maybe a standalone, maybe a series. I don't know. And I'm gonna make a video about my process. So that's what I'll be doing.
I'm not.
This
Googling
is
anything
going
at
to
all.
sound insane, but I'm going to be cutting fabric.
No.
I know. Who could have
How
thought that that was what I was going to be doing?
How even?
the fuck you say? Care to enlighten us on what you're working on with the fabric cutting?
Oh, it's a quilt. I will be
Okay,
making a
cool.
quilt. Yeah.
Really pretty fabric too.
I have my friends who are getting married in April. It's going to be a wedding gift for them. And it's going to be the log cabin pattern, which is one that you use 2 different colorways with it. And I mean, you could use more than 2, but you got to have at least 2. And it's going to be like a pale. So it is one colorway is pale blue into celestial prints.
Cool.
And then the other colorway is rainbows because it's 2 very gay men. Yeah.
Nice.
So this is the red of one of the rainbow sets.
I like the descriptor of very gay.
Yeah, exceptionally gay.
Exceptionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Life goals are those words.
The other one that I enjoy using is terminally gay.
Right. Also accurate.
So I finished one of my main projects last night. I got all of the character cards done for all of the characters in Raid, and I'm actually quite proud of them. And I'm upset because I think the one that looks prettiest is for one of the characters who's not in the book that much. And I'm like, spin-off series with that character? I'm like, no, you already have 1 million words to write. Stop it. Find a way to boost her in the other books. So I have a video to edit that was supposed to be done already, except for, I recorded it without sound. So my editing time was covered by re-recording time. So I'm going to get that video edited, and then I'm going to work on a new song.
Yay!
I wanted to do today. And the one that I have in my head, I don't know if I'll be able to get it out of there, but it's kind of like a weird boss battle thing. It's got those kind of vibes to it. So
boss battle.
I'm excited.
And there is something that I want to work on. Oh yes, hello Sage. But I really, really need to work on the new client work I got.
Oh.
So it's a developmental edit. I need to actually start reading it. But you know, you know how it is when you get actual paid work, and that's when your muse is like, "Here's everything that you've been asking
Oh,
for the
that's how it
past
works.
year."
Like, yes, that's called life, dear. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I finally have creativity. Yes. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't you understand?
My
This
muse
is
has
going to
spoken.
sound ridiculous, but that is why I use Fiverr and I set things to the most ridiculous time frame possible. Because, like, if I'm giving myself 3 days to proofread 40,000 words, then, like, that's my life for the next 3 days.
And Mama Ward is here.
Woo.
Yay.
Aggie.
One of my friends got very annoyed with me when we were playing Who Am I? And she said, Am I dead? And I said, Very. So, very, extremely dead.
I mean, not wrong.
What you need to do is you need to make it Tupac. And then when they ask that question, you're like,
Questionable.
More
Yeah.
than likely, but did you see the pictures from that bar after Hurricane Katrina of the dude that dropped down like thousands of dollars? But more than likely, but
But I have questions now.
I have questions. I have all the questions.
we'll probably be getting an Amber pretty shortly, probably during the sprint. She popped in to say hi while she was still at work, so she's got to go home and
I don't
right?
understand why I did not work today, but here we are. I don't understand this new place I'm at. I just accept it.
She said, am I dead is a yes/no question. You can't be more than dead. Sure, you can
No,
be.
that's not true at all. We learned that in Princess Bride. Only mostly dead.
And what about Kenny from South Park?
Also that.
I love how you go there, and my mind's like, well, Hatshepsut was like completely, totally more than dead because they not only killed her, they completely erased her name, and if they hadn't missed like one rock that had her name on it, we wouldn't know who she was.
We wouldn't know.
Like,
Yeah.
that was actually one of the most extreme death penalty in ancient Egypt of being more than dead. Like, you're not only dead, we're going to erase you. Your
And
existence
if
has
we
been
don't
expunged from the
erase you,
universe.
then the Victorian English will do the rest of the work for us and just eat your mummy.
You gotta drink that mummy smoothie. That's how you get the best skin. I mean, have you seen Victorians? Like, the best skin, deadly, drawn, very, very like full of the vapors. Like, it's a cannibalism. It'll do it every time.
And on that note, let's start a sprint.
I'm sorry. I just love the fact that the Victorians, who were so like, cannibals are evil and they're everywhere, they're after us, were literally like having human smoothies as a beauty regimen and not seeing the disparity there.
And not seeing the disparity there.
Everybody else is cannibals, but you're literally having human smoothies. Like,
Oh, silly, the Egyptians weren't human.
that's a very Victorian thing to say.
Yep.
Why I have ish against the steampunk Puritans.
All right, let us sprint in 3, 2, 1, go. Ding, ding, ding. Sprint is over. I started reading the new manuscript, and something happened something grammatical happened, and it
Oh.
completely sideswiped my brain and made my
Oh.
brain start ranting, because it does that.
It is that.
And it's something that this author did right, but it's something that the correct answer is wrong to me.
Oh.
So I've had this rant before. Well, not rant, this discussion before on relative time and space in the narrative. It mostly applies to when the narrative is in past tense. And there are certain words that you cannot use in the narrative in the past tense because it does not apply to that particular time and space. Words like here. Here is not here. Here is here, where the narrator in the nebulous future is. And things of time, like you can't say tomorrow, you have to say the next day.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Because tomorrow is the tomorrow of the narrator. However, there is one word that is a present tense word that functions as past tense, and it irritates the fuck out of me that it does. And that is the word now.
Oh. That's like the only one I use.
That's the one that's right.
Oh, okay.
And it irritates me that it's right, because it shouldn't be right. It should be wrong.
Oh.
Like the sentence, now there was a new. It's like, that's correct.
Thank you for giving a sample sentence. Yes, that's absolutely grammatically correct.
And it's irritating that it's correct.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be correct, but it is.
I'm totally fine with it being correct, but also I acknowledge that you're irritated by it.
And so, yes, I hit that line and my brain went on like a 10-minute rant. Just a feedback loop.
Just a feedback loop.
I finally was able to move forward, but yeah, that shit happens to me when I'm reading.
Yeah.
How did everybody else do?
I made it home.
You made it home!
Yeah. Yes, we had a wild Amber appear, and a wild Sako disappear, and a wild Sako reappear.
Yas.
I just kept cutting fabric. Oh, and okay, I'm gonna tell you guys this. So, I started a new job a couple weeks ago. Went back to my old job a couple weeks ago. One of my friends who, I forget, this is my buddy James, whose real name is Fan because he's from China, and he, I forget, he's a weird dude, but, not, eccentric rich weird, just, weird dude. So I forget that he is, ultra wealthy and, son of a dynasty and, has properties all over the world and shit like that. So I forget sometimes that he hasn't had, a normal life. And, so he texts me asking what my days are. And I said, do you mean, what my shifts are this week? What am I working this week? And he says, do you have set days or do you just work whenever? And I'm like, oh, I don't know that I've ever in my life worked a job where I had set days. I've never done a 9 to 5. I've never...
Seriously.
I've always been in food or hospitality or retail. I don't know this stuff. And he says, oh, so you pick your days. What? No.
That's a thing?
No. What? No, we just allow them to say we can show up whenever, and that's just our lives. This is how this works. I am blessed And the fact that I have a job that I have to go in at about 6 o'clock in the morning every day. And like, thankfully, I have that one bit of consistency. But like, if I go into management, I could very well be working until midnight one day and have to be in at 4 o'clock the next day.
Yeah, those
Like,
days suck.
like 4 a.m. Like, yeah, like.
Been there, done that. Not pretty.
Yes. Yeah. So like that was just like my weird moment there. Like, oh, you pick your days. Like, no, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. My boss picks my days. Thank you.
Yeah.
Even
I
when
don't
I was
know. It's
even
like
when I was
roulette.
working in the hospital, and our shifts were, the hours of the shifts were a given. The days
Yeah.
were not.
The
Yes.
days were not. Yeah.
And yeah, I count that as a blessing that at least like I know that it's going to be mornings and that's all I'm going to work. I count that as being lucky that at least I know that much.
And we did have a regular schedule where we would have one weekend off, and for the next weekend we would have a day within 1 to 3 days on either side of that weekend off. So like if we were working Saturday or Sunday, we could have either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday off on one side, and Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday off on the other side.
Okay.
And if you were lucky, that stayed stable for a while,
Oh.
but
Well-
you couldn't count on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've always worked weird shifts like that would switch, like Panama shifts. You had 3 days on, you'd work 3 days off. You'd have 3 days on, 3 days off, 4 days on, 4 days off. And that was always like the best schedule to me because you rotated the days you had off, so you could always figure it into what you were doing. But so this week, got a little story, I guess. I haven't really. This all happened since my stream Sunday. Actually, my stream
Maya.
Wednesday. Since my stream Wednesday, I got approached on Wednesday by the Nissan side of my dealership. Like I work on at Keating Honda, and so Keating Nissan was like, "Hey, we've got one girl on maternity leave, one girl about to go on maternity leave. We need help." Well, we just had a girl come from Keating Nissan because she was tired of all the girlish drama bullshit, and
Hmm.
if you know me at all, you know I hate fucking drama. But they have more warranty work because Nissan owners don't want to take care of their cars until they break. So it's guaranteed probably more money. But, I've got all this moving and my mom just showed up on Thursday. And so, like, I've got a lot of shit to consider. I can't just say, yay, more money, I'll take it. I can deal with girlish drama and shit. Just don't talk to them. Don't be a part of their shit. But, so I talked to my mom that night and told her what was going on. And, my boss had been willing to work with my new schedule with one exception. And because I need Wednesdays off. And so I listened to what the Nissan guy had to say. I talked to my mom and Kira and all that, looked at all our schedules and told my boss, I was like, look, I have personal things that make me not be able to, I'm still fucking basically learning how to be an advisor instead of working on cars, how to advise how to work on cars. And I don't have the memory capacity to learn something completely new with all the personal shit going on right now. So I think I'm just going to turn it down and focus on myself. And so my boss is like, that's perfectly fine. I understand. And so the fucking Nissan guy is pissed off as fuck with me because he thinks that the girl that left Nissan to go to Honda talked me into not working over there, as if that was fucking possible. And so now he won't talk to me, and he's pissed off with her because he thinks she put me up to it. I'm like, I am not about to explain the issues in my life that make it not possible to learn something new. Like, I'm not going to go where there's tons of catty ass girls and explain, yeah, I've got a memory issue, and with all the personal shit going on, there's no way I'm going to remember gas and diesel and warranty work. Like, no, I'm just not fucking doing it, right? So the girl that had come over from Nissan, she she is actually going to switch shifts with me. And so I will be late every Saturday because I am now working every Saturday.
Oh,
But I get my Saturdays, I work Saturdays, but I get Wednesdays off so that I can go to Kira's basketball games and have recycling days and things like that, and actually stream Tuesday night and Wednesday so I can get more Twitch time. And that's literally all I was like hoping, was that my boss was willing to work with me. So pretty soon as we move, there will be a Tuesday, Wednesday Twitch streams for me once the computer gets all set up and things. So stay tuned.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll be a little late every Saturday, but and they're willing to work with me on the last Saturday of the month, so I can do the writers' workshop and everything, as well as the stream. So the last Saturday of the month, I'll be able to do that and everything. So works out.
See, this is one of those moments where I really want to be like, if you really didn't care what other people thought of you, you should just translate all of your problems into High Gothish and just be like, I would love to, but the Dark Lord and Lady are just telling me all these things what need to happen, and there are just so many skulls that need to be cleaned up, and the blood always needs mobbing. Because I did that at one of my jobs, and I got promoted so quickly because I got to do my work because everybody left me alone. Because they just did not want to have to cope with that creepy one over there that's always talking about the skulls, the blood, and the bats that won't shut up.
Well, and the fucked up part is like, so our phone systems, for whatever reason, will sometimes switch Nissan and Honda when you're trying to call. And so there's an Amber that works for Nissan as well. And I can't tell you, at least once a week, I get a call from a pissed off customer. You told me what we did would fix this, and it didn't. And I'm just going to come over there and kick your ass. And I'm like, ooh, you looking for the wrong Amber, right?
I feel like I would say that every single time, whether it was me or not.
You picked
Yeah, this is
the
what
wrong Amber to mess with.
That's what I was thinking too. You picked the wrong Amber.
Because it's kind of a mashup between the Johnny McGovern song and the Todrick Hall song. Like, that actually work quite well together. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've got no problem telling the customer off if they're wrong, but this girl, she just left on maternity leave, and so I'm just sitting here going, okay, you go ahead and you come up here. I'll be waiting on you.
I'll be waiting on you.
And then I wish they'd call me like, did you do that? Because they don't know me well enough to know. Because I know she's on maternity leave till December, so I was just like, when the guy asked me if I wanted to work there, he's like, we'll have to do something about y'all having the same name. I'm like, it's fine, y'all can just go by my pen name.
I'll just go by my pen name. Yeah.
Just call me Stephanie. I'm not Amber. I'm not that bitch.
Story of my life. Oh my god. I am not that bitch.
The problem is, I can be if you need the drama. Like, if you need somebody to bring drama into your life, like, if somebody needs to just be like torn into little pieces, I've got enough drag queens still inside of me that like I can I can read a bitch
inside of you.
Girl.
The Scorpio is strong with this one.
The Scorpio is very strong with this one, and I like to strike. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so I thought it was funny as fuck. The last time since I knew she was on maternity leave, I'm like, you go ahead, I'll meet you up here.
I'm sorry, Sage. It just happens. Let me reiterate for everybody who may have forgotten, I'm cursed. And I don't mean that like the way the kids say it. I mean it like in real life. Like, there is no censor in this entire like apparatus up here. Words just fall out. And I try to sell them on Amazon.
Maya says, I think angry people is part of customer service. I've become quite good at dealing with it and those type of people. Yes. You get to a point where you you learn how to find out what their fucking problem is without actually swearing at them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, there are
And
sometimes we're like, ma'am, if you would just calm down and hush for a second, I can explain this to you.
Yeah.
Oh, people don't like things being explained to them, though, and that is my problem with customer service.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
will freak out about something being done the way it is, and I will try to explain, well, this is why we did it this way, and they just get like more pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, truth.
this is why I never work in management, because I will use oh, well, that's a policy. So if you want that address, you should talk to the management. I will
Mhm.
call them for you.
Yep.
And I'll be like, not my problem.
But I can make it my problem if you need me to. I mean, that's really where this is going. Sorry. I've had a couple weeks of. It's okay. There's a lot of pent up rage inside. It just needs a target. Just
I
point
couldn't
me in the
tell.
direction so I can just like claw something's eyes out. It'll be fine.
Just pass it higher up the chain of command. Yep. That is my method of action.
Well,
If
and
I
one of
can't,
the- Sorry, go ahead.
if I'm not allowed to help you the way you want to be helped, kick it up the chain.
Trust me, you don't want me to help you the way I would. I want to help you. I kick your ass.
Sage, how does that not get a Jace phrasing?
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand the rules here, and
They are arbitrary and ever changing.
Oops. Yes, I understand your frustration. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do to change these policies. I will make sure to forward your concerns to my supervisor.
Yeah.
I once watched my husband use the power of the reading room to lay into a Karen so strong that the Karen realized, oh, you're the real alpha Karen here, and kneel in obeyance. Like, I'm just saying, it's a powerful skill when used properly.
I was working the register one time and had someone call me from the dining room to complain their server hadn't come by yet. She was at the next table, the table next to them, taking another table's order.
Jesus Christ. The entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, working at cars, people make, make appointments. And that's just so that, if we have a walk-in, their ticket goes higher than the walk-in. And so people get mad. They're like, it takes an hour and a half to do their car because we do like this multi-point health check on your car. We check your fluids and all this. And they're like, what's the point of the appointment? The appointment is so your ass goes above the other people. It don't mean you're going to get done any faster. Sorry. Not my problem. Go to Jiffy Lube. Maybe they won't fuck your shit up. Just saying.
For Jace, I'm sorry, sir, but it is not within the pharmacy's policies to pay to have your car interior cleaned because you ignored the side effects. But my manager will be here on Monday.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember who I was having this discussion with earlier in the week, but you talk to teenagers and stuff, and they are kids, but as soon as they have a retail or service job, suddenly they're allowed at the adult table.
Yes.
It's like, nope, your soul has been broken. You're one of us now.
Your soul has been broken. You're one of us now.
Yeah, I think it was you and I having a discussion.
Here, sit, my child. Let me explain to you class consciousness and why we need to destroy all the powers debate. Uh-oh, my anarchy showing.
Also had a customer get mad at me for ringing up a lady with a to-go order. The lady with the to-go order had been waiting for 10 minutes just to the side of the line until the food was ready.
Jesus.
People come out of COVID thinking they're all batshit. I'm important. bitch, you are no important than you were when COVID hit and your ass went home.
They thought they were important before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just got a little more entitled.
I also had a lady who made me send her 5 different types of her receipt. I had finance looped in. She called for months and did not believe my explanation. She asked for finance manager. I gave her the email, and she asked the same thing. Finance replied with my exact explanation and CC'd me. She was like, "Oh, that makes sense. Thank you so much." Ooh.
Yeah.
So I once had a customer claim that he placed an order at our store. Like I work at a store where there's another one, 3 miles down the road. I work at a grocery store in a city, like we're every 3 miles. So people end up shopping at a bunch of different ones. And this customer swore up and down that he had placed the order with us. And he even pointed at one of our clerks and was like, I placed the order with her. And we don't have it. It doesn't exist. And finally, his wife shows up and she has their copy of the order form. It was placed at a different store. And the woman that he pointed at was an Indian woman that was probably about 70 years old. The person who took his order was a Japanese woman who's 35. And like he could not tell the difference between a 35-year-old Japanese woman and a 70-year-old Indian woman.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Sounds about right.
This isn't even the store, sir. Please leave. Please just leave. I never want to see you again.
Your stupidity has insulted me. Go away.
Yeah.
I had a pickup at the hospital that I'm trying to remember how this worked out. I know the final answer is worth it, but it was something like they wanted XYZ, and I'm like, okay, we don't carry XYZ, and they were like, but Anne said I could get it, and it's like, sir, Anne hasn't worked here for over a year.
I love those too. I get that all the time as a cake decorator. You did it for me last time, sir. That was discontinued 7 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And also, I haven't been here in how long?
Yeah.
Yeah, they really like to say, because especially with medications that just turn over, it's like, but you always get that for me. It doesn't exist anymore.
Let me just pull
But
it
you
out.
you never had a problem in the past. Well, in the past, it wasn't killing people.
In the past, it existed. It no longer exists.
In the past, I had ankles that worked, and I could actually stand on my tippy toes. The past is a magical fairyland that, yes, I think many of us would like to return to, but we can't because time doesn't work like that.
No.
Well, I don't like this new policy of yours. Okay, here's the number for the DEA. You can call them, talk to them that you don't like the fact that you can't get controlled substances, C2s, without a filled out 222 form anymore.
It's like we just changed our policy where if you're outside of warranty, even if you have like the extended warranty, Apex or whatever, until we know if it's covered, you have to agree to pay. It used to be $75, and at the beginning of the month it changed to $150 diagnostic fee. And it was like, but Why is it that? I don't know, because they fucking changed the policy. It's just, that's what it is now. But it's just a seatbelt. You're just checking to see why it won't roll. Okay, but that part's only $50 and it's gonna take 2 hours to tear the damn seat part apart. We're gonna pay our people for their fucking hours. Like, I didn't make the policy, go talk to him. Well, he never answers the phone. Well, then I guess you got a problem. Or a decision to make. How bad do you want that seatbelt fixed?
Right. You don't have to be here.
It still works, so it won't roll back up as far as you want it to. It still works when you click it. You're good. That's a safety issue. No, it's not. As long as it works when you click it, you're good.
Also, if there's not a recall, it's on you. It doesn't matter if it's a safety issue.
Yeah.
Unless there is a recall, we are not liable for it.
Well, and like, I really felt bad today because we had this lady that she was outside the years of a recall. It started like 2 years after her car. And so she had to pay, 89-year-old woman, she had to pay like almost $550 for doing something, for changing her spark plugs and doing a system update. And her daughter came in today and she's like, this is just too expensive. This is crazy. She's on a fixed income. I was like, okay, but she's at 85,000 miles and this is the first thing that's gone wrong with her car. She should consider herself lucky. She's getting off.
Right.
Well, she could go to AutoZone and get her spark plugs. I was like, yeah, but we didn't just replace the spark plugs. Because they had burnt the fuck up because somebody didn't tighten them. So if she'd come here for the whole time, it might not have this happen, you know? Like, why you take your shit to people who know what they're doing?
Also, she is absolutely welcome to go to AutoZone and buy spark plugs and put her own spark plugs in.
Yeah, but the problem is that her spark plugs weren't tight, whoever she took them to last time. So we had to replace like the wiring and like all kinds of other stuff. And our guys go above and beyond. They don't just replace it. A lot of times they'll clean stuff up and everything that they don't have to do. But they're already working on it. So, you know, they want to make it nice for the customer. I just wanted to be like, look, woman, we cleaned your shit and we replaced the spark plugs and wires and we didn't charge you the extra hour we probably should have. Like, you're getting off light. Calm down.
Yeah.
But can you help it? You're on a fixed income. So am I. You just have to fucking put it on a credit card or figure it out. Or, I don't know, I got a customer taking out a loan to get his car fixed, you know, for $2,000. I can't help it. Shit costs money. People gotta make money.
So, I am in the mood today where I am thriving on all of this ranting, but we do need to do more sprints.
Yes.
I want this conversation more, but we have to sprint.
So the solution to that is we do a solo sprint where you prepare your rants for the next sprint, and then we do a rant sprint, and it's all good.
I mean, this has zero impact on me, so.
And Chandra, because you told me that you wanted somebody to be that person in your life, what do you mean you got distracted on the last sprint? You have an outline to finish.
That was Sage. That was a mood, Jace. I'm in the mood. Well, all right. Yeah.
All right. Oh, let me actually share the screen.
Yeah, I gotta take care to breathe before I get in trouble.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, sprint is completed. I see Amber sprinting back.
Very, very literal sprint there.
I was doing the kid's hair.
During that sprint, I found a humorous religious joke that I won't tell until Charlie's back.
Charlie's still away. God.
Sorry for religious. What?
It's a light one. It's not really drop the mic, but it's amusing. So technically, Moses is the first man to download files from the cloud using a tablet.
You ain't wrong.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was cute and amusing.
It is.
And then I found an idea, a concept that I think that I have fallen in love with, and that is emotional support alcohol. Like, this is my emotional support vodka.
I could get behind that.
Jameson is my emotional support whiskey, and I cannot get through life without him.
Right.
You can't prevent me from taking this bottle into the store. This is my emotional support animal.
Technically, I become my emotional support animal after drinking the Jameson, but I see your point.
And I had
Hi, Carrie.
another literary, not a rant, because it's another thing that's not wrong. It's just something I see so often. I'm just like, So I am going to put this out there. 9 times out of 10, a prologue is unnecessary.
Yeah.
And everybody seems to want one. I'm like, this isn't wrong. It's just this information
who
could
you
be... What?
Depends on who you ask if a prologue's wrong, because like the traditional gods don't like prologues at all. They don't want them. They'll DNR it like right away. Just something I learned at a conference.
Chandra says, why you gotta call me out like that?
I know. I'm like, I'm not nervous that my series starts with basically a 12-chapter prologue. I mean, the characters do reappear later in the story, and it has a very strong impact on what happens in the story. But it's primarily because the events of the story kind of have to start where they start, or it's just going to be very dull for a very long time. So I told a side story to be like, by the way, here's the world. Isn't it magical? Now watch it get destroyed. Bam!
Oof. 9 times out of 10, a prologue is a band-aid for pacing issues.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel that.
No, I just feel that a lot of the time the information presented in a prologue can be presented later organically so much cleaner and more effectively.
Or given the technology that we have nowadays, there's a wonderful service called World Anvil, where all of your world building can go so people can get further information about your setting should they want to do so. It doesn't all have to be in the prologue. Like it doesn't. Like, that's wonderful which gods did what to who to make your universe, but does it actually impact the story? No. Put that on your World Anvil, please.
Yeah.
But then again, when I will read the prologue, and I'm not going to be like, oh, this is a hard oof. I'm just going to be like, oh, another prologue. Okay. I wish I could fast forward through these opening credits.
I blame Peter Jackson. I full force blame Peter Jackson, because when Tolkien, who was not one known for like eschewing surplusage, like if he could put more words into something, he did it and like went there. but he just didn't. He was like, you'll find out that there was a War of the Rings. Like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. Like, we'll get there. Like, Dark Lord, whatever. It's fine. Let's start at the 111st birthday of this dude. Like, it's fine. Like, that's how he decided to tell the story. Peter Jackson, on the other hand, was like, no, we're going to start with the epic battle that really won't have relevance until like halfway through the second movie, but we're going to do this now. And I feel like so many books, especially fantasy books that I've read lately, feel like they have to have that Peter Jackson, like, here's the epic battle that set up everything that's going to happen to the book to follow. I mean, you really don't need to know it until book 2, but it's fine. It's here now.
Yes. And I feel like this is adjacent to that, but I've definitely done quite a few beta reads where people just took to heart the whole thing about make sure you start with an action sequence. So because their starting point is more like of what they're not considering to be an action sequence because people misunderstand that phrase, you end up with this fight scene that's completely irrelevant to anything. Whereas like that scene where they're at the like train station saying goodbye to each other would actually be an action scene as long as you didn't stuff it full of exposition and there was actually nothing wrong with where you had it started. Because when we say an action scene in that sense, we're not talking about physical action. We're talking about activity versus exposition.
Right.
And this is something that, especially like, basically the whole project I'm currently working on is like my uber critique of the fantasy genre. So I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Like, yes, when I wrote the raid, I needed to know the entire political structure of the Savros Archipelago because it does have a bearing on some of the elements of the story. The reader doesn't need any of that. They just need to know Descensians to the south, bad. Nuffran's got something stolen from them. We've been hired to get it back. They don't need to know the intricate, like, what king said what to what princess that caused like a whole bunch of hurt feelings and all this. Like, no, they don't need that.
Who made who got hurt?
Right. It's not, it is absolutely not relevant to the story. It's important that I know that so that should it need to be mentioned, it can be. But again, this is what World Handful is for. You can repurpose all of that as marketing material over there or on your website, anywhere.
I just watched a really interesting video, again, sort of related to this, except that it's not prologue, but just like world building in general. I saw a really interesting video comparing the world building of Lord of the Rings versus in Miyazaki's worlds. If they focus on Spirited Away with it, but like how you've got these two different sets of world building where you've got the one thing that you're talking about, Charlie, where you need to know like every single detail, even though the details don't actually play a role in it. Or you've got like the Miyazaki style where there's all this just like crazy stuff going on and you just have to accept that like somehow this all comes together to make a world. And it's still just as powerful of a world. Even though we don't like have any concept of currency or anything like that, it still is just as profound. And it was just like a really interesting take on these two different styles.
Are you talking about Hello Future Me Timothy Hicks video? Because he just did a video like that.
I have no idea.
Yeah, if anybody's
I can find out if that was exactly what it was.
Yeah, if anybody's really interested in this topic, Timothy Hicks has been doing an entire series on soft world building, which is just powerful. And that's that idea of if you have hard world building, that's where you know everything and tell everything. Like Tolkien, you know everything, you tell everything. Like there are no secrets. Yes. The world is like set in stone. Versus soft world building like Avatar: The Last Airbender or the works of Miyazaki. And if you really want to dig into that, he has a wonderful, wonderful book on fantasy world and on world building in general, but very focused on fantasy world building that I highly recommend.
To go back to a previous point on, the reader doesn't need to know all the things, but you do. It's also what the first draft is for. Spill your fucking guts in that first draft. Put it all on the paper. then cut the shit the reader doesn't need. Because that way it gets it straight in your own damn head.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Don't send your first draft out to a fucking editor.
Yeah.
You need to.
Oh,
you
but the
need to.
editor needs to know everything I need to know.
The editor doesn't need your mind dump. The editor needs your story.
I've had somebody say that before. Like, I was letting somebody read my alpha draft. It is just an alpha draft. I warn you this ahead of time. I need your help telling me where I'm missing shit because I've read it too many times. Oh, you don't need this. You don't need that. And I'm like, okay. But your editor's going to need to know that, so you'll want to leave it in. No, I don't.
Yes, Sir Terry Pratchett got it right. The first draft is just you telling yourself the story.
Yes.
Yep.
And see, that is a problem that new writers, myself included, have great problems with the first book. And that is, you are so excited that you have gotten a draft done. You have written a fucking book.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh my god, I wrote a book. People need to see this. No, they don't yet.
It was Hello Future Me. You were correct on that.
Yeah, I love his channel. I just put a link to the book I was talking about, and I said his name wrong. It's and I spelled it wrong when I typed it up. It's Hickson. I'm good at the typing today. It's a good thing I'm not writing.
Right. It's not like it's what you do for a living or anything.
Yeah, it's not like what I do, but I put a link into the book. I really enjoyed this world building book where he basically takes his entire channel and then goes through with more resources, with more research and exercises to help you actually pull off all of the different things that he talks about. I would not be where I am in my current fantasy project without that book. It's very good.
I like that concept. Giving the viewers homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the writing workshop books we've done have had like little exercises and homework. And most of the time, if we're not all doing like we usually do and reading it the night before, it works great. Other than that,
But I've been watching like the past, at least through the summer, and I don't think anyone has read the book ahead of time throughout.
I started it. The last one I started on day one. And then I got sick for a week. And then I had a migraine the next week. So I had to finish the last 5 chapters out of 12 last days.
Sage is asking, speaking of homework, are we doing another sprint or is that it for the stream? We
late.
should probably, yeah.
A baby sprint, maybe?
No, I can do a full 20. Okay. Why did that say 45? Oh, this is a image map of a brain. Okay. I thought it was some like City of Lights or something.
It said 45 because the spirit of Devin was trying to push you to 75.
No, I do not want.
From Canada.
I do not want 45 for a sprint.
I did one of those once on my birthday stream last year as a present to both me and Devin. I did a 45-minute sprint on the stream, and I still hear about it from time to time from people that were annoyed.
I don't know. There are some of those streamers that do 35, 40-minute timers. I'm just like, I can't focus that fucking long.
Yeah, I zone out. I'm lucky if I can pull off a 30-minute. Usually my max is about 25 now.
After 25, either a dog or a kid is hollering my name. So.
Your dog can say your name and you're not TikTok famous?
Yeah, it goes, oh. Or whine at the door. which is code for I'm about to piss if you don't let me out.
You know when you're not expecting it and your dog bops you with a cold nose. Kitties do that too.
Speaking
There's
of
that
which,
that sudden eep sound that you make.
Mhm.
speaking of which, Chandra, how's that outline coming, Chandra?
Mine's not an eep, it's a what the fuck?
Are you
Oh,
getting
I
your
just
work done,
remembered.
Chandra?
I have a character name that I want to use because I thought of it and I thought it was hilarious. It's William Beauregard Baggins.
No, I say no to that. Yeah, a veto. Hard veto.
As
I
long as
was
his
think-
nickname is he's named after a dog, I'm fine with it.
No, it would be shortened to Bill Bow.
Yeah, I get it.
Outline is done. Sage would also like to veto that. I was thinking a game character, like
I
for
mean,
an RPG.
if he has the attitude of an asshole dog, I mean, you know, but like your name suits you, fucking bitch.
All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Never, but let's do it anyway.
In 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Sprint number 3 is done.
Ooh.
I did
So-
some.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say what I did. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to tell Laura. Laura said she's listening to Linkin Park again, getting sad. Maybe should switch to a different band for today. Yesterday, I had a weird yen to listen to Jimmy Buffett. My parents are parrot heads, so like it's terrible, but it's what I grew up on. And a pirate looks at 40 as a lot more depressing when you are 40. Putting it out there. That song hits in a different, very terrible way. Yeah.
Yeah, I did a couple life things and then came back and started reading and then started cursing this person's English teacher. And this isn't the normal cursing English teachers for, not making sure their students can pass. This is cursing their English teacher for pulling the shit that some English teachers like to do. There is not a fucking contraction in this book.
Oh, that's so irritating.
It's like, I need to smack your English teacher because... Ugh.
Yes.
At least when mine didn't have contractions, it was because they were gods and they spoke proper.
All I know is my inability to punctuate dialogue is going to make Rose City some money. I feel like I internalize the information, but when it comes to actually doing it, there's a disconnect there, and it's very frustrating. So
I feel like when I am proofreading, that is one of the most common issues I see, and I don't understand it, but it's common, and I don't get it. I don't know. Like, people just don't know how to punctuate dialogue,
Well,
and I
I
don't
will
get it.
guarantee you Meadow has plenty of experience in fixing broken dialogue tags.
So I really want to do like an infomercial for Rose City because that style guide. No, you understand. That style guide that I got back really upset me because in some ways it's better than the story Bible that I did for the book. Like, there are certain sections in there that are much more thorough and much more succinct, and like, my outline is a crazy tangled mess of stuff. That little outline that she did at the end, I'm just like, huh, yeah, that really is all I need to know, isn't it?
See,
Why do I
Charlie,
make my life harder?
is that whole last sentence he said was directed solely at me.
I wasn't gonna actually say anyone's name.
You didn't have to. I'll call my damn dumb self out myself. That's okay. I did it. I admit it. Oh well.
Night, Daddy.
No,
Don't do anything you wouldn't do. So basically, there's no rules.
No, don't do
still have the
anything
timer
they
on
wouldn't
the
do. Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
See, that's why I just try to make people's lives better and tell them don't do anything that I would do, because that's where safety and sanity lies. Like, just ask yourself, would Charlie do this? If the answer is yes, go, do I have the sanity points to lose or the HP damage to soak? Like, can I get through? Yeah.
Oh, that just reminds me of the fact that I have been binging plays of Call of Cthulhu campaigns.
I feel like my life has been a playthrough of Call of Cthulhu in way too many ways.
Yeah.
I did my nails this sprint.
Ooh,
I got Halloweenies.
nice.
Although I'm sad because I wanted it to go black then color, and the pinkies had little spiders, and I thought they were really cute, but they were white, and so that my OCD wouldn't let me do it.
Aw.
And I tried to make it where the pinkies were the spiders, and then vice versa, and I didn't have enough. So, no spiders for me.
Yeah,
No spiders for you.
the hubby came home during that sprint with a pizza surprise. So like there's like a bunch of pizza just sitting in there, like luckily in the other room so I can't smell it. I've never been happier to have an office with a door.
So, I'm smelling something right now, and
Is it Charlie's Pizza?
nice. No,
It's so much better. I'm like all of a sudden like what The Rock is cooking? Like I don't even know why, but
it's a fun word, petrichor.
The hell are you been?
Road. Wet road.
Well, it's
Sounds
not
like
just
a bad
road; it's
road
usually
tool.
dirt.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically the smell of rain.
it's been raining all day here, which the goth in me loves. Like it's totally my aesthetic, and I'm here for it. My knees, on the other hand, are just like grumpy, angry women sitting at a buffet, wondering why nobody has taken their order yet.
The smell of dust after the rain. Yay, Doctor Who. Exactly. And that is how I know that word.
That would be why I don't know that word. Which is weird because if it deals with rain, I usually know the word. Like a pluviophile.
Mm-hmm. Well, now you do know the word. Petrichor.
I will
And,
remember.
And it's CHOR at the end. And it is the smell after the rain.
So after you've loved yourself for being a pluviophile and just loving the rain, then you can do that. I love the smell of the rain, period. But yeah, it's been raining here for on and off for the last 2 days, and somebody's like, "Oh, when's it gonna quit raining?" I was like, "Tuesday." This forecast all fucking week. Like, Tuesday?
We've actually been good recently, but also we did have a month and a half. We had 45 days where it rained 43 days of those 45 days over the summer. So I guess we're just like getting it back now.
Yeah, I feel like all the rain we missed from the tropical storms. Like, here, let me help you feel better. You may not feel left out.
Well,
Oh, we definitely got rain from those.
Yeah.
what we are experiencing right here, right now, is very light and very gentle.
Right now.
Yes. So it is the kind that people actually enjoy.
Subject to change.
Jennifer says, y'all know the leg lamp from A Christmas Story. So there was a wolf statue in the middle of her husband's casket's flower spray on top of his casket. Now the wolf is on her bookcase howling at the leg lamp.
Cool.
It is quite all right, Jennifer. Having trouble processing even words at the point where you are is very natural.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would fault you for that.
And by the way, sorry, Jennifer, I did not see your message until this morning. Sorry. I went to bed when I got home at 6 o'clock. So I don't know if there was one or not. I was asleep.
Yeah, when I did the life things and I did the reading, but I also got distracted while I was doing the life things, still dwelling on the topic of openings of books. Just certain things that are just like, no, please don't. One that I am kind of thankful that has been being called out recently, and by recently I mean in the past couple of years, and I think mostly by like booktubers saying, "Hey, you know how you want to describe your character by having them look into a mirror right away? Cut that shit out. That's a fucking cliche."
Oh, yeah, I hate that. It took me a second to figure out what you were talking about. I feel like it's more of a YA thing than like another stuff.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I fucking hate that shit.
It also
And-
makes them feel like a pure vein, and you don't like a lot of times you don't want them to look that way.
But see,
Yeah.
that's the problem. What if the character actually is that vain and they're just constantly looking at themselves in the mirror? Like, you
Well,
need to have
here's-
allowances.
Well, then
Here
you
is
just
the
act
thing.
like they're Gaston and figure it out.
Now, here's the thing. You have to know when and how to break the rule.
Yes.
True. You got another rule before you can break it.
For instance, in my opening of Blood of the Masked, Ben does look into a mirror. However, he is looking into an airplane mirror and checking out the bruises that his father left on his face.
Mm.
He is not actually, in the mirror telling the audience what color his hair and eyes are.
Yeah, true.
Because humans don't do that. But they do look in the mirror and, like, poke at their bruises.
Or put makeup on them, or yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's also part of my bookend images, basically. In the opening scene, it's an airplane bathroom. His face is purpling with bruises. The fluorescent light is flickering because it's just a bad bulb in a cheap flight. Closing scene, he's on a dance floor, purple glitter on his face, and the strobe lights are going. So it's similar images, but way different context.
Yeah.
See, Chandra, I wish I could do that every morning, and I love those like gender euphoric moments where I catch a glimpse of myself in a mirror and I'm like, yes, because they're so few and far between. But when they happen, like, I just want to live in front of the mirror for the rest of the day.
Well, and then there's the fact that like I live in a camper with a teenager, so
Who's constantly doing that in the mirror?
we're getting dressed at the same time. Guess who's not using the mirror getting dressed or putting makeup on? Guess who's togging the mirror the entire 45 minutes we're up?
No, the thing that readers are bored to tears with and growl at is using the looking in the mirror as just as a device to
Yeah.
throw out hair and eye color.
I mean, I
Yeah.
still remember this book has got to be almost 30 years old now, and I still remember that is how Elena is introduced in the Vampire Diaries. It is her putting her yellow bow in her black hair. Like, that was how that character was introduced. And she was wearing a white top and a purple skirt. Like, to this day, I remember because it was so irritating that was how they, like, introduced this character. And again, like you said, it just made her sound really vain, which I think was deliberate. I believe in the book she was actually a cheerleader. Oh, you know what? I think in the movie or in the show she was a cheerleader too. But like, I think that was deliberate, but it was still like, it's just a really cheesy way of doing it.
The thing is, it's so heavily used as a, just throwing out
It's a cheap
random
way to tell that show.
Yeah. Well, also throwing out everyone's hair color and eye color is used so heavily in YA
Mm-hmm.
that when people see it in an adult book, it just sets off YA alarms in their heads. And
Yes.
they're just like, please stop. Please stop.
I think that's one of the reasons I have like such a hard time remembering to describe somebody physically, because I got so tired of reading it
Mhm.
that like just imagine what they look like. Like I'll eventually give you a description and we'll see if it matches. More than likely the cover is going to have what I think they should have looked like. But if I describe them, like I just realized putting up Unknown Happiness that I never described my main character. We're only in chapter 2, I'll make it happen. But I describe it. Her mom, her dad, and her witch best friend. I never describe what she looks like.
It happens way too much. And
There-
there's such a divisive school of thought as to whether or not you even should.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I don't mind them. Oh,
Oh,
Amber just popped up.
Amber. Listen to me, Gizmo. Tell your friends to give Amber. I'm tired of this.
My bad, wrong button.
Thank you.
As I was saying, there are organic ways to do it.
Yes.
For instance, with Ben in my books, someone asks him why his hair is shaved so, he's almost bald. And he gives him the explanation that, it's easier to take care of, but he also has it's from the first person, so he also kind of tells the reader that, yeah, his mom is racist and his white mom is racist and doesn't want his hair to grow out because it's the thing that shows that he's black. Mm-hmm.
That's
I don't think I can
stinks right
Fit
there.
enough disgust on my face for that
Mhm.
sentiment. Like just
It's the only tell to keep him from passing in by being natural.
Oh shit. I just realized I haven't actually put a story up for Bella for tomorrow. Damn it. It's
I mean, as long as you
Saturday.
don't schedule it, it'll post tomorrow.
Yeah, but I've got to leave here and then go see my mom. And then
Oh,
we're
like
going-
it's not even ready to go. Like you don't have it. Okay, got it.
we totally forgot that was a thing this week. No.
Yeah. I have missed a couple of weeks on one of mine as well. Like I've got one that's already fully written, so obviously no reason to miss any of those. But like, I've just fallen behind on the other one.
I got no excuse. The whole fucking book is written. I just haven't edited this portion.
Got it.
Yeah, this is true, Laura. You don't describe characters often. It was pointed out by in my middle grade by a younger beta reader that I needed to. Yes, that is the issue, is that for younger readers, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to mean it very politely. They have a more shallow outlook, whereas grown-up readers don't put too much stock into, hair and eye color, unless it's actually like glaring out unusual.
unless they misremember it and get really, really mad and racist because a black girl was cast to play a black character in a TV show or movie. I mean,
Yeah.
If I add a detail, it's because it's important. Like a character always has to do their hair because it's really curly. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I would accept, Amber, your description of you and Kira getting ready, because that is, like, that showcases what the life is like, how you can't even get to the mirror.
You see my
Because-
mirror? You see her
Yeah.
pants? I can't see shit. There's a mirror in the house.
Like, that is character development.
Yeah.
And suddenly all I want to do is buy Amber like a bunch of mirrors for Christmas. Like eventually you'll
I
have
don't
one
know
of
where to put
these.
this, dude. Yeah, I've tried to hang it from here because, like, even if I do clear that, then it goes up against to the kitchen, and the bulbs right there we've taken out to put in other places because the bulbs are fucking expensive for this place. It wouldn't help. Fuck it. I'll be out of here soon enough.
Chandler knows another series where the main character always picks his love interest out of a crowd because she's tall and has auburn hair. See, and that's something that is striking and eye-catching,
Right.
and is
Like,
part of the story.
yeah, like I'm listening to an audiobook right now, and his thing is he picks her Irish bright red hair out of all the English browns and blacks. Like
Mhm.
it that's the thing that and he didn't like the girl that he was supposed to be betrothed to because she was taller than him. So
Ain't nobody got time to describe the character in a 100-word piece. That is true.
facts, dude. Oh, my hair's still up.
All right. How are we? Are we ready to give outros and stuff?
I think so.
Sure.
I had extra caffeine this morning, so I am not dying right now.
I only just finished my third cup of coffee. I'm amazed that like any coherent word sounds came out of my face.
All right.
I did
will-
that thing where I stayed up all night. I stayed up until 2:00 in the morning reading a book. And then the cat decided to jump on me. The very heavy cat decided to jump on me at 4:00 in the morning and continued to do so until 5:00 in the morning when I finally dragged my ass out of bed to feed him, and then I couldn't fall back asleep. So 2 hours of sleep here.
Oh, thank you, Chandra. It was I actually very much enjoy talking about literary topics.
And drama.
And drama.
That's kind
Yeah.
of why we're here.
One of these days, Jason and I are going to have a drama channel, and it's going to be fabulous.
Except I hate drama, so it's gonna be me saying, "Yeah, why do we care?"
Well, I think that would be the unique spin that we
There
could
you
use
go.
to take over the entire thing, because I can just read bitches for like 10, 15 minutes, and you can be like, but why though?
I saw the other day, it was one of those YouTube drama videos, except it was an anti-drama video, and it was about how people were getting all up in arms because Melania Trump slept on inauguration night or not inauguration, on the night they were
Election night.
election night.
Yeah. She's like, I'll find out either way. So she's like,
And the person's like, you know how many things there are to get mad at Melania Trump for? Sleeping. Way off the list.
Yeah.
that makes top 100.
So far.
You know how much we crave sleep? Do you know how wonderful sleep is? Do not start villainizing sleep.
I'm sorry, that was just so perfectly fine.
It was.
Mother.
Do you know how much we crave sleep?
Yeah.
That was my
It was-
mom.
That was like 80s comedic timing, and I'm here for it.
Told you, my phone loves to have the perfect timing with you guys.
I was like, why are you yelling at me about spell check? It's like, oh, because you called me Joyce. No, we are procrastinating our outros.
Yeah, we're super duns here.
How is it I love my mom, but I want to go see the house, but I really don't care if I see her.
Amber, I say this to you way too often. Stop being relatable.
Hey, you said that to me earlier too.
Yes.
My mom is a narcissistic bitch, and yes, I've missed her, but can I live in the house without her?
Charlie,
Oh.
go ahead. Say it again.
That's being so relatable.
There is a thing, like, to hope that your mom works second shift so you can come home and be asleep before she comes home is a great thing. I have to deal with her once a week, hopefully. She ain't got a job yet, so I gotta deal with her for a little while. But still.
All right, let us hit our outros. Let's do counterclockwise. Amber, you can go first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Amber Kraft, and I'm crazy and wonky, and my schedule's changing, and my life is going crazy, and that's the usual for me. I stream every Sunday at noon Eastern, whatever time that goes for you, and after this lovely person on Wednesday nights, that will not change, at 9 Eastern. But there will be more times added, probably, hopefully. I don't know. We'll figure it out. The second season of the Afterthought podcast will come back whenever my life gets fucking straightened out, hopefully. I'm aiming for January. And you can go and check out my books.
2027.
ETA never. You can go check out Unknown Love, available on Amazon and paperback, ebook, and Audible, which the lovely Tamara called my cover, even though she was drunk, she said it sober too, amazeballs. So I feel good about that. And Unknown Love, or Unknown Family, is available on Amazon and ebook, and working on the Audible. If you want to get a sneak peek of Unknown Happiness, which is technically book 3, but you don't have to read it in order, you can find that over on Bella. I haven't got anybody to read it yet, but I'd appreciate it. I fucking hate my mother. I would love if somebody would read it and give me some feedback, even if it's just the first 3 free ones. Yeah, that's it. Gotcha.
All right, I am Chloe Alice Balkin, and I make things, and I make other things pretty. And I stream on Word Stitch Write-Ins on YouTube at 4 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. And I occasionally do other streaming at random times on my Twitch channel, which is Chloe Alice Balkin, and that is me.
Hi. So,
How do I?
Oh no, okay. I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. A note to my sweet Swedish satanic papa. You don't tweet for like 2 years, and then we are waiting for an album to come out, and you just like all the time, like you're like tweeting at randos, like weird things, like, okay, I can't take the notifications. Like, just announce the freaking album. Okay, I'm better. Hi, I have a book coming out next week. In theory, it's going to be coming out first via Vella. There will be 7 chapters up at launch, and then the other 5 will come out after that. And then, as I write the series, chapters will be coming out periodically on there, because these are gigantic books, especially compared to what I normally write, and I don't want people to have to wait however long it's going to take to get them done. And I think it would be a fun way to put the story out, because the chapters are fairly episodic in the main story, so I think it'll be a fun way to do that. So I will be announcing that soon, so keep an eye out for that. I've also been doing like a crazy amount of artwork for it, so hope you like my current work, which has been called anything from psychedelic caveman to Picasso drops acid and does fantasy book covers. So I take all of these as compliments, because yeah, that kind of feels like the place that I'm in right now. But all that's going to be coming out next week, and I hope y'all like it. This is the epic fantasy series that I've been talking about forever, and thank you to Maggie, if she's still in the chat, who actually wrote the blurb for it, because I was struggling. I'm very excited.
It is the hardest part.
Oh, it is.
Definitely.
I finally wrote my like crap version of it and shared it in the Discord, and she was like, "Here," and I'm like, "Oh, that's perfect." And then like went to her coffee and was like, "Here, I'm buying it from you," because I would literally pay for the service. I hate writing blurbs. Anyway, I also stream on Twitch every Wednesday and Friday starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, and it's a lot of fun. It's chaotic, but somehow stuff gets done.
Just
And
like
if-
here.
And if you missed last night's sprint, we had a lot of fun miscommunications that made for things very interesting. It was the night of miscommunications because Charlie should not start their streams at 8 o'clock. I know this, but I was part of the relay, so I allowed for it. Never again.
You told me this. Now I'm gonna have to go watch it instead of trying to edit my thought.
Let's just say the word fairies was used at one point, and not to refer to magical creatures. It's fun. Ooh, it got a little spicy. It was fine. It was fine. But yeah, check me out over there. If you haven't checked it out and you're interested, I am doing a second channel called Creations Past, which is me talking about magic and mysticism and spirituality, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And if I'm putting out videos there every Sunday and Wednesday, because I have a lot of things that I want to do videos on. So if you want regular video content from me, that's where it is.
All right, and I am Jace Maxwell, author of Urban Fantasy and possibly Cosmic Horror. I'm an editor for Rose City Editing at rosecityediting.com. You can catch me here at this time, 4 p.m. Eastern, every Saturday. You can catch me on this channel on Thursdays at noon Eastern, running VTM Mysteries. It's a Vampire the Masquerade tabletop RPG. It is super fun, and hopefully this week is the week that the shit hits the fan. We thought it was going to be last week. It wasn't.
Players, am I right?
Yes. Last week we made plans upon plans upon plans, and the plans that we started making at the beginning got completely preempted by the plans we made at the end when they discovered, oh, someone is not who we thought they were. Or someone is more than we thought they were. Well, we're going to do this then. Well, then everything you've done for the past hour is for nothing. And I do Perfect Pancake Sims 4 game on Tuesdays at noon on my Twitch channel. And those are the places you can find me currently. Nothing extra this week and probably next week, just because I have a new editing client and I will be reading. Screams in GM solidarity. Yes.
Yes. I once, the very last time I ever ran a Vampire the Masquerade game, and I'm not going to go into details because it will, you will see flames literally shoot out of my eyes and bad thing. They literally brought about the end of the world in 2.5 minutes of gameplay.
I'm not mad, I'm impressed.
We spent weeks making characters and backstories and planning things and fine, just whatever. It's fine.
You know, it'd be fun doing a stream like this, but having it be having a GM stream.
Yeah.
So you and me and Sako and Spence.
That could be fun.
GMs United.
That's the nightmare I'm having when it comes to working with the Tailspire for the other thing that I'm wanting to do, because I'm just I have to actually furnish every room in every building, or I'm just going to have locked doors like in a video game. Which am I doing? Because no matter which buildings I want y'all to go in, you're not going to pick those buildings. I'm just going to put big flashing neon signs this door opens.
And then they'll get an axe and tear down the one that doesn't.
Yeah.
Spence says, yes, please, I need this.
Because I don't do any type of role-playing games at all. What the fuck is a GM? Because I just think GM like general manager, so it's not
Game master.
Okay.
So GM,
God,
DM,
people.
storyteller, whoever runs the game.
God.
Oh, I have so many Ryan stories. Like, oh yes. Playing tabletop role playing games with people with eidetic memories is just. Can I stab you now?
All right. We are going to end this one and hopefully see you all during the week or at the very least next week at any of our places. All right. See ya. Bye.
Bye.